if you notice, the female deity at the feet of Vishnu, this is Vishnu on the coils of the serpent floating on the ocean of milk. And his spouse, Lakshmi, is at his feet, caressing his feet. And she is whitish in color, and Vishnu himself is blue in color. And this is a common feature all through the art in India, that the female deities like Lakshmi and Parvati, they're whitish in color, and the male deities are bluish in color. Now, why is this? In the Indian spiritual tradition, the female, the feminine, represents creative power, or Shakti, which manifests the physical world. And the male aspect represents the consciousness. So you have consciousness and creative power, like the two aspects of reality. So what Gopi Krishna said, when the transformed person looks out at the outer world, they see it bathed in this beautiful silvery luster. And so that's why Lakshmi is silvery in color. And Vishnu is blue, as is Shiva and Krishna and other universal deities. He said there's a dual significance to this. On the one hand, blue represents the sky, which, as we know from the Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescopes, goes on, if not to mathematical infinity, at least to practical infinity. So it's infinite. And he said when the transformed individual looks inside themselves at their own consciousness, it's like looking into the starry sky at night that goes on to infinity. The other reason for the bluish color, he said, this is the color of the pranic currents in the body. And this is actually corroborated by the Western mystic Wilhelm Reich, who talked about orgone energy or surrounding life. And this is, the equivalent of prana. And he said it had a bluish tinge to it. So Gopi Krishna, he says, when I look at a painting like that, every detail is significant. And I know what all of it means. What's the significance of the serpent? What's the significance of the ocean of milk? Why is this cord coming from the navel of Vishnu? What is this figure sitting on this lotus with red color? Why is he holding 4 books? Why does he have 4 faces? Every detail is significant to a person who's had this transformation. And even one last thing, Rick, I guess you're probably familiar with the Ramayana.
Sure, I've read
the story of Ram.
Yeah.
It is a direct allegory of the awakening of Kundalini, a direct allegory. And this is not known in India, as far as I'm aware. You have 3 characters. You have Ram, the prince, impeccable character. You have his wife Sita, who is the epitome of feminine virtue. And you have the evil demon Ravana, who has 10 heads. And in the Indian tradition, 10 symbolizes the 5 organs of sense and the 5 organs of action, which is the physical body. So Ravana kidnaps Sita and imprisons her in his island fortress of Lanka. So Sita is Kundalini, imprisoned in the body. And Ram, through his impeccable behavior and his courage and strength and all these other virtues, frees Sita from Ravana. This isn't even known in India, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
The story is a direct allegory of Kundalini. And he just told us this one time out of the blue. This is an allegory of Kundalini. The birth of Krishna is an allegory. The same way.
Yeah, I think all these things are. I mean, it's not like God is really this blue guy lying on a snake, with a lotus coming out of his belly button. It's all symbolic of things that has deep spiritual significance.
And he explains some of these in Kundalini, the Dawn of a New Science. He explains the Vishnu image and all the details. He explains the Nataraj, the dancing Shiva, and he explains the birth of Krishna, how all the symbology involved in these, if anybody is really interested. Anyway, so the point I'm making is these changes that happened in his consciousness are reflected in the whole tradition of India. They're not just sort of aberrant psychological states, which, like a psychologist may look at and go, well, he's obviously semi-deranged. These are integral to the Indian tradition.